Twitch. Okay. So you should. Okay, is it live now? It is. Okay, it should be live. Okay, great. I'm just doing this because it's easier, because YouTube is going to have this, so it's just going to be easier um, to do this. Okay. Okay. So let's just talk a little bit about string formatting, I guess. So what is string formatting? So we just covered input and output, right? Oops, something opened up here that I didn't want to. Okay. And now it's time to go into string formatting, which is really, really important, and I already covered part of it, but not really formally in a way. So string formatting is when we do, for example, something like this. So we have a equals 4, doesn't matter. Now we're going to print, and we can always do something like and we can format and say a. And when we run this, where is it? Where is it? It's here. We're going to get A's 4. What we just did is we took a normal print statement, and every time we want to specify a particular variable or an expression, we use these curly braces on it. So we can have these curly braces here, we can have multiple curly braces, and then what we can do is we can do, after the quotation mark, so applying this to the string, this is the string, applying this to the string, dot format, and then use, because it's going to be kind of like a function, it's a method. Oh, what's up? Yeah. So we can just format this, and we can include in order as they appear our variables. So in this way we can actually do a. We have three actually we can do we can do expressions in here. So we can do a times 2 and a plus 3. Now when we run this, it's going to give us a is 4 and then comma 8, 7, whatever, right? Now you can also put numbers in here, so 0, 1, 0, 2, and 1. And you'll notice that now these switched because the numbers being put in here. Hello, how are you doing? The numbers being put in here are the order in which they will appear. So this is the order number 0, this is order number 2, so it's going to be, and this is order number 1, so this one's going to go first, this one's going to go next, this one's going to go afterwards, and still the order in which you specify them are the order in which you wrote them. Right? So, easy enough. Now, if we go into Google somewhere and we also put string formatting Python, you can get this really easily. Oh, okay. I guess this works. Maybe I don't know about this one. Oh, yeah. Don't study this. This is pretty old style. Also, what I've just showed you is not the best way to format it, but yeah, here it is. For example, this is not what I wanted particularly to do, but you can gather all this info really easily on the internet as well. But here's what I wanted to introduce to you as well. This is a pretty standard approach, but it's kind of bulky. What can you do to make it better? Yeah, of course, you can also put like a name in here. You can say name equals 3, right? And then you have to put them, again, it's just a bit too bulky for me. So what I like doing is using an F formatted string, which is what people should be using, to be fair, in my opinion. Which is the same thing, but just a very compact version. So we use an F. So remember how if we want to define a normal string, we just use quotations. If we wanted to define a byte string, we use a B. And this in here is bytes. If you want to define a raw string, it's an R. There are more. Now, an F formatted string, it's an F. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to do the same thing with the curly braces, but you don't have to do the format. You can just type in the expression you want inside of here. So you can say A, just right there. You can say A, you can say A plus 4. So A, this is A, period. Now it is, and then you can put A plus 4 or 8 times 4, doesn't matter, whatever you want. And when you run this, you're going to have the same output as before, but you don't need to do the format. It's just pretty clean, easy to understand. And I think this is really the best way. What you can also do as of Python 3.8 is you can do an equal sign after any expression. After just before the curly ends, you can just do an equal sign. And what this does is it's useful for debugging, because when you run this, it's going to print the whole expression inside of it. So for example, this is A equals 4, instead of just saying 4. Now it is 8 times 4 equals 16. Like, it will print the entire expression. It will evaluate it correctly, but it will also print the expression. And this allows you to debug code. So let's say your print statements or whatever is not giving you the correct results that you want. You might want to put some equal signs there and see if the expression is being correctly evaluated, or what's wrong with the expression. So it's good for debugging. But yeah, there are little quirks about it. So these are this is the basic of string formatting. Now, you can also do, let's see if I can pull it up. Where is this? Damn it. It's supposed to be pretty simple to search the documentation for this, but let's do this perhaps. Oh, there we go. Here we are. Here we are. Oh, I'm not showing it in here. Sorry, I should have been doing it here. Okay, there we go. So if you just go for string documentation, you can get a lot of value from this, of course. But what I want to, and again, you're gonna get to formatting and all of that stuff. But there we go. This is kind of what I wanted to also talk about. It's pretty. There's a lot in here. There's a lot in here, and you can definitely go through it if you want to. I'm just going to give you the most important aspects of this, and then you can go deeper into if you want to or not. So you can format numbers inside of print statements as well. And how would you do this? Oh, hello, Dragonsh. What's up? Oh, thank you. I'm really glad that it has been helpful. So what does this mean? So if we have A equals 5 and B equals 4, and you print, let's use a formatted string, you print A divided by B. Now, notice that we don't put text in here. You can, but since we don't put text in here, there's no need for a formatted string, because we can just say print A divided by B, right? But it becomes useful if you want to have, text. So the result is this, or whatever. So now let's do this, and what's going to print is 1.25. Okay, that's good enough. Now, let's say I want 1/3. The result's going to be 0.333. But here's the thing, what if you want to format this further and make it so that it only outputs the first 2 digits? How do you do this? Well, this is why this is going to be important. You can format these further And so right here, for example, it's actually a bit confusing in this particular example, but you can use your what is this called? It's a colon with the specifier for how many digits and decimal digits to allow. So, for example, where is our? Is there? I wish there was a table. This is actually really confusing. I'm sorry. I always recommend going for the documentation, but this is actually quite confusing. Like I get what they're saying, but there's no clear way for people to get a complete wait. Let's put number formatting. Python table, I guess. Cookbook? Oh yeah, this is more useful, for example. If you Google this, it's more useful for you. It's kind of like a little table of the kind of ways in which you can format particular things. So let's say that, so right here, so the colon dot to f, it's going to format float 2 decimal places. So this is kind of what we want, right? So we can do, oops, where is the, there we go. So we can do this, and now the result is 0.23. Right, and now here's the thing. If we do 1, for example, in here, nothing changes. If we do 2, obviously, nothing changes either. And where is it? Yeah, here. So you can use these numbers to left align them, to right align them, to also pad the numbers with a particular thing. So it's really useful. And well, what I demonstrated before, wait, where is it? Here. So let's go for a different example. So let's go for, let's say, we're going 4 divided by 2 or whatever, right? And let's pick up this thing here. Yeah, there are. It's pretty confusing. And this is much better. I'm liking this. I'm finding some trouble with the particular, what do I say, examples that I want to give, because I need to think of numbers that make sense using particular examples, which is going to be difficult, I guess, out of the blue. But I'm looking at their examples, and they're actually pretty decent, right? So that's why I kind of want to go along this particular line. So as you can see, you can do a lot of different things. And if you go with this example, you notice how you're padding this with zeros, with the width of 2, right? You can increase this width to be like 4, and then you'll have 3 zeros and a 5, similar to this, right? And there's so many things that you can do in here that I cannot cover it all, right, obviously, and you can just get what you need. The most important things to realize is, if you want to limit this to 2 decimal places, you can do this. If you want to, you can do more, of course. And another important thing might be this right here, which is where you can use the sign. So right here, instead, oops, you can use a sign, and you'll have your positive number, or of course, if this was a negative number, you'll have your negative number, right? And I guess this can be useful for many situations as well. You can use for comma-separated values, for percentage, all sorts of things. Okay, but that's string formatting in numbers in a way. It's still string formatting, right? And I guess this documentation is actually pretty good. It's good. It's going through the old way of formatting, then the new way of formatting, and then it's not actually using the F-formatted string that would be pretty useful. Because look, here's the thing. For example, this. Let's take this example from this guy. Is this more or less readable than simply? Actually, let me let me just copy this again. Let's do this. Okay, now let's do an A, let's do a B, let's do a C, let's do a D, let's do an E, let's do an, oops, A, B, C, D, wait, did I mess it up? Oh no, there was one more, right? Was there? Yeah, doesn't matter. It does, but let's just assume that we'd have an additional one here, right? Just for the purpose of showing you that one will be simpler than the other. So, which one is more readable? Now, to be okay. So, which one is more readable, the first one or the second one, right? And that's my whole point. So this would be like the way to do it, but of course, well, the modern way to do it would be with F formatted strings. I call it F formatted strings, but it's just like F strings. It's just going to be way more readable. So that's why I'm showing you this. Thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. But yeah, and you can read the documentations on this. It's pretty simple, self-explanatory. So string formatted is not very. It's a pretty simple topic. If it's a pretty low density topic, and I have no clue where I put my vape, which is a problem. Anyway, so yeah, so this is string formatting. So let's put a little plus here. Oh, thank you for the host. Really appreciate it. The troubleshooting is something you do not see in edited montage videos. Yeah, and that's really, I thank you for that. And I think that's really important. We don't see, like, all the videos that I've ever seen about programming or anything similar. You never see people actually going through that debugging process. Maybe if there is an error that is incredibly common and it's posted in comments, people might do it. But you never see people actually just sitting down and doing things actually live. Because if that happens, then you're going to also see the process of getting errors and how to solve them as well. And that's really important because I don't know, a lot of people seem to have the idea that when they watch videos, all the code is perfect, right? And they just write the code like in perfection and it just runs and it's perfect because it's scripted. And people, think that they cannot do that ever because, you know, um, I always make errors, like there are always errors, and I cannot get to that level yet. But that's the thing, that level is unrealistic. Of course, with simple things it happens, but there are always going to be some troubleshooting being done, even in simple things, because people are human. And I guess it's important to know, like, and to kind of showcase the way in which the way in which at least I tend to solve some of the problems, so that maybe you can take some of that and solve problems yourself. So I think that's pretty important too. And thank you for that remark. But yeah, that's a string formatting. We're going to go into basis and virtual environments in just 1 second. I would love to split this into two, but I don't want to like turn my stream and turn it on again. So I'm just going to start right now into basis.